And we are live from Keeler Gardens. So something unique today, we are filming in portrait mode instead of landscape mode to get you the full view of our wonderful topic today. So the first thing that we do when everyone is joining us here at Keeler Gardens for our live videos, our programming that is virtual during these times, is we wait to allow people to get notifications. So turn your notifications on, like us, follow us, and in the future do share these videos. So Ed, I see you're watching. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's little notes near your name now. Bring them on camera and wave. So do I just push the button? I'm waving at you. Now, do you want to be on camera? Is that, oh no, that would be a no. No Ed on camera today. We do not have a cameraman today. What we have is a few moments to remind you we're here on Facebook, using Facebook for virtual programming in these questionable times. When we can have people on site, we do that via appointment, but we're always open on the front sidewalk. So with that said, all our viewers have joined us and gotten their notifications. We're here today to talk to you about our orchid tree. Now, you may have seen a video a while back where we were planning this, setting up this orchid tree, and we have completed it. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit and come in and show you what we've done, okay? Each orchid sits on a base of soaking wet moss, all right? That moss is tied together so it stays whole and doesn't blow away. And in addition to that, it's also tied to the branches. Each grouping of this moss with a orchid tied to it sits in sort of a crook of the tree. Wow, I just got a whole bunch of messages on my phone, so I'm distracted. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm sorry about the distraction. So I'm talking to you about this orchid tree. Now, the reason we built an orchid tree like this was to sort of mimic their natural behavior in, for example, a rainforest. Now, these are wide open to the elements. They don't get a lot of sun. They get bright shade, but not a lot of direct sunlight, because that would just burn them out. But because this isn't an actual rainforest, and this moss needs to stay wet virtually at all times. Look, we have new lines coming. Can we show them that? See those are new lines. And see this line? That guy looks like he might have gotten too dry, and he might have. Can we zoom in on that? Come on, you can do it. I'm sorry, I can't zoom in on it. But eventually it will be a flower like that. Now, the last time we talked about orchids, we mentioned that this flower started blooming like, I don't know if it was like in February or earlier, I can't remember, but it's been bloomed like this for months. That's why orchids are so wonderful. And they're actually really easy if you treat them right. You just have to keep their environment damp so that their roots, which I'll try to show you one, their roots don't sit in anything. They do help them with grabbing on, and they pull water from the moisture in the air. They don't want to be in soil or soaking wet like regular roots do, okay? So with that said, I'm going to sweep a beautiful view of the back to show you another one that we placed in a different corner, hoping that it would get a little shade. Now, look what's happened. This one's probably gotten too much sun. See the burn? See, all the edges are burning, and he's still damp inside, so he's okay. But this guy, we may decide to move him, because that's a lot of sun for this little guy. We could tuck him further deeper in here to see if he would get more shade, or we can take him off completely and move him over to this section. Now, as I mentioned, these root balls, these moist moss areas here, have to stay wet at all times, damp, so that the roots are always replenished with water. And when it doesn't rain, we either have to come out and water them, or we have a method by which we will address that. But I want to answer a question. Yes, you do hear Scout. I'm going to zoom, sort of pan over here so we can see the sweet little kitty meowing for attention. There you go, sweetie. Yes, look at how tame you are. She wants attention. She distracted me from our video here. So we get back to our orchid tree and talk to you about the nature of orchids is that their medium that they sit in or on needs to be damp. Basically, if you're having these in a house, you would soak that media for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or however long it takes to get it nice and moist, and you probably just do that once a week. But because these are outside and it's a lot of bright shade, and in the mornings they do get some direct sunlight, they dry out relatively fast. So instead of us coming out here 2 or 3 times a day and misting them, we are going to set them up as part of our watering system, our irrigation system. And that leads me into mentioning our feature Friday. So we will talk about that tomorrow. But for now, I wanted just to show you an update on our orchid tree. I showed you the roots. These branches are a little flimsy for those roots to grab onto. Last year, we had a wonderful display of root growth. We had the orchid tree here on this birch collection, here and here, and the roots reached out. This guy, his roots, his viable roots are probably all inside, but they will reach out and they'll grab on, they'll hook on or sucker on to the branches to hold them in place. So I have to go back to the cat in case anyone wants to. So I will go on and on about orchids and let you know that they're very, very easy to just keep their media moist and keep them happy, keep them in a lot of bright light, but not direct sunlight, not too hot, but warm. And you should be pretty fortunate in your success with them. We are, again, mimicking the natural rainforest. So with that said, I'm going to remind everyone about the regular programming that we have here on Facebook, as we haven't had to have educational programming or hands-on programming on site because of our situation. What we've done is we've created these programs for you here on Facebook. Virtually every day we'll bring you some topic of something we're doing here, something either culturally related to connecting with nature, or obviously greenery, connecting with nature, trying to mimic other ecosystems that are native to Illinois. And we also have our What's in Bloom series. We take pictures of what's in bloom and post it on Instagram. And then once a week we take you for a walk around the garden and talk about that. We are also starting to do comprehensive series. Last week we did a series on stress relief and all the different aspects of what goes on here at Keeler Gardens that works for stress relief. And so we're going to try to create more series like that for you. Educational ones, cultural ones, scientific ones, art related. We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on with our interns now. We're very, very excited about that. So we are on the northwest side of Chicago. Come walk by anytime on Keeler Avenue. You can find us, all of our information here is on Facebook, but I'm Gina at keelergardens.org. Ed, who is watching right now, is usually our cameraman. He is Ed at keelergardens.org. We thank you very much for sticking around and listening to what we're doing here at Keeler Gardens and learning more about us. You'll be able to catch replays of these videos here on Facebook, and we often post high quality versions in playlists on YouTube. If you do go to YouTube, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we need 1,000 subscribers to be able to film live from YouTube, which we want to be able to do. So then, since you stuck around, we want to be able to give you something special for the hashtag stick around. And what I'm going to do is talk to you about orchid leaves. Now, all leaves are different, and all leaves have different colors. For example, this is a fig, and look at this. This is either a philodendron or a pothos. I can never keep them straight. But look at the red tones of this beautiful Rex begonia, okay? So it isn't always easy to know what color a leaf is supposed to be, all right? So, in the case of orchids, we don't necessarily want the leaf color to be this deep, rich forest green. These have been inside all winter, and they've only been outside for about a week now. What we really want is for orchid leaves to be a bright green, sort of like fresh green grass. That means that they're getting the right amount of sunlight. Then when they get the right amount of sunlight, you're virtually guaranteed a new shoot that will produce flowers, as long as you take care of it. So that is our hashtag stick around. I'm thrilled to have had you guys all with us, either on the live video Hey Donna, or on the replay. Donna, I'm so sorry, we just started to wrap up. I hope you caught most of it. You can always watch the replay. We're showing off our orchid tree. And we talked about all of our programs. So thank you all so much for sticking around. Thank you, Donna, for catching us at the very end. Come back and watch the replay, and we'll see you tomorrow for our Feature Friday, everyone. Take care.